guys, welcome to another albertaeventer vlog. I'm just heading home from the barn. It's Friday, yay weekend. I've been taking a bunch of clips over the past week or so that I'm going to share with you in this vlog. I did some fun stuff. We got a big dump of snow, so I got to go ride out in the field in the snow and make some fresh tracks. So I've got some video of that to share with you guys. And then today I took you guys along and did a bunch of footage at the barn. So I have that to share with you guys as well. And also something neat I've been doing lately is riding with a driving rein. So instead of holding like reins with it coming out your third and your pinky finger, or fourth and pinky finger, you hold it so it comes out between your thumb and your forefinger. So it's been really interesting riding with that. So I've got I took some video of me riding like that today, so I thought I'd share it and do a little bit of voiceover sort of explaining and showing you guys how that sort of changed my riding. And I jumped Twiggy today using the driving rein, and that was actually really good. It just sort of like softens your whole arm and you end up not pulling back, and it really feels really awkward. You feel like a tard because you're like it's sort of odd, but it's awesome. Horses love it. It just makes the connection so much more steady. And I've been riding probably at least 2 or 3 horses a day with the driving rein, and it's been really good. So yeah, and this episode, this vlog will be interesting because I have some of it on the GoPro, which is going to die shortly, so I can't be talking too long here. I took some of the snow videos on my iPhone, and I'm really glad I got a new one not too long ago because the video quality on there is way better than it used to be on my old one. And I also took some clips on my cam box, so you guys will be able to see the quality of the cam box 720p versus my 720p on my GoPro and on the iPhone as well. Actually, it's all shot in 720p. So yeah, heading home. I've got most of my footage shot already, so I'm gonna head home, edit this weekend, and I'll check back in with you guys in a little bit. Alright, so the next clips I'm going to show you is from when I was jumping Twiggy. So just to recap of the driving rein, so instead of holding the reins with the reins coming out through your ring finger and pinky finger, flip your hands over and then the rein comes out between your thumb and your forefinger, so holding like this. J-Duke did this, or had some of us do this when he came for the clinics a few weeks ago, and I wasn't one of the ones he made do this, but I started just sort of experimenting in my riding at the barn, and it made a big difference. If you have a tendency to sort of brace or lock your arms, it makes it so it's pretty much impossible to do that. So instead of being braced, you see lots of people riding, the reins coming out of their thing, or coming out between their ring finger and their pinky finger, and then they'll like lock their arms and pretty much be like stiff like this through their whole arm and upper body. And so flipping it over, it makes everything just sort of feel like it's going really awkwardly this way, following. It makes a softer, steadier contact. The horses love it. The whole connection becomes a lot more sort of still and elastic, and it really trains you to sort of close your leg and soften, and that becomes the tendency. And right away I noticed as soon as I picked up the reins like that, the horses were already sort of reaching down into the contact and lengthening their head and neck and relaxing into it, which was really cool. Or another thing it's good for is when you're holding like that, we sort of don't notice how often when we're posting around holding the reins normally we'll sort of like lean on our hands or collapse forward, folding at our hips a little bit and have our hands down too low. And when you're holding the reins like that, you have to carry yourself and engage your core and hold yourself upright, because you can't lean. Yeah, you can't lean like that. If the reins are coming out the bottom, we put our hands down or push our knuckles into the neck like that. But when your hands are like this, all of a sudden it's pretty much impossible to do that. So I felt a big difference in my core as soon as I started riding like that, because all of a sudden you're like, oh god, better hold yourself, which was very interesting. Now I've gotten used to it. And then jumping Twiggy, as you'll see in the next few clips. We haven't jumped since J, so it's been over a month. Again, just because I've been sort of just slowly bringing her back. We've had a few more sort of quiet weeks. She's getting worked 4 or 5 days a week, just mostly concentrating on flat work. But you'll see in the videos as we're going around, she was a little bit excited. Good to the jump, but sort of tanking away and getting a bit quick on the landing side. And then as far as evenness goes, she really wants to still push to the right with her shoulder and sort of cut in whenever we have to turn to the right. So I really noticed that when we land from the jumps and turn to the right, she cuts in, and going like over the ox or the one direction, you'll see she'll majorly cut in and we won't even make it to the end of the arena. And so I was using the circles in between everywhere to sort of help with that, and to get her organized, back on our rhythm, and relaxed again before we moved on to the next jump, which was really helpful. And the driving rein, you can't really tell I'm using it in the videos, but it's really good to sort of work on that automatic release. So instead of just leaning into the neck with sort of a crest release or whatever you do, a lot of people do, you can't lean into the neck with the driving rein. So you have to sort of hold your hands out and use your core muscles and support yourself. And I noticed a big difference on the last few steps. Like if I wasn't sure whether we were going to take off sort of long or short, I was just supporting the rhythm and really like conscious about holding myself really sort of tall and still, with my abs engaged and a soft arm just waiting for Twiggy to make the decision. So yeah, so we just did a few little short courses, 3 or 4 little short courses after a little bit of a warm-up, and it was really good. She calmed down a little bit as we went, and I really liked the circles in between everything. That helped a lot to keep it sort of nice and organized and give you time in between to make sure you've got a good rhythm, good balance, and get everything back where it should be before heading off to the next fence. So I'm planning on jumping hopefully once or twice a week for the next little bit, just still keeping it small for the next few weeks, and then sort of working up to where we were last year, sort of meter 10, meter 15, and then sort of progressing from there as the summer goes on, and we'll be ready for our first event in the beginning of June, hopefully. So the last two horses I ride in my vlog are the same two I rode out in the snow at the beginning, earlier that you saw. This is Arnold. He's coming 5 this year. He's bred at our farm, one of our homebreds. His sire is Don Quixote, who's a Gervantes. And then he's got Burgraff and Voltaire on the dam side as well. And Arnold's dam is Wendy, one of our broodmares we've had for quite a few years. And she's Indorado, Rex Magna, and Rigoletto. And she is also the dam to my boss's and the barn owner's Grand Prix mare, El Carrera, which is really cool. And he's just a super, super nice boy. He's one of those horses that was just born broke. He was so easy, and he's got the best temperament in the world. So what we've been working on with him is getting him sort of moving his body around so we can actually get him straight, because he was fairly crooked when he came back to us a few months ago. But he's got such a willing, he tries so hard, such a willing temperament that he's sort of come leaps and bounds. And I love riding him. He's such a really nice boy. And then working on getting him to relax his top line sort of down and out and lengthening the top of his neck. Because when he came, he wanted to carry his head sort of really high and his neck tight with the underside longer than the top side. So he's really starting to come now and lift his back and really swing and push from behind. And the driving rein really helped him too. He really wants to sort of reach down into that contact, and with it just staying sort of nice and steady and a lot softer, he's really, really loved that. And he's made sort of really, really big improvements in the last week or so since I've been riding him with the driving rein. And this is Lana Banana. I absolutely love this horse. She's by Tacord, who's pretty much king of the farm. He was one of the first stallions that my farm imported. And he is Concord, good times. And he's the king of the place. He spent so many years jumping the highest level in Alberta, down in the States, all over the place. And he's awesome. I love his babies. They're great. And then her dam is Kentucky, who interestingly was the first contender daughter sold at public auction in North America several years ago. So Lana's her first offspring. She's been a little difficult to get in foal. She can't stay in foal, but we've got 2 babies from her. Thank goodness. But Lana is my ride. She is little, she's fiery, she's spicy, she's hot, she's got a million opinions. She's exactly my ride, and she is lovely. She really is one of those horses that you get her to cooperate with you and go to work, and she just tries her absolute heart out. And so she has been a little bit, she's had sort of a light year. She's done a lot of maturing mentally this year, but now she's finally starting to relax and be rideable and stay rideable, because she's a little spicy. She sort of sees all the boogeymen in the corner and likes to make up things to spook at, but we're working through it, and every time I ride her, I just have the absolute hugest smile on my face. I love this horse. And with her, we're working on sort of the same, a few similar things to Arnold. Getting her to sort of relax her neck down and out and carry it a little bit longer instead of up and tight. And then for her, she has all about, she doesn't look like it trotting around, but going around the arena, she has about 20 different moments where she's like, oh goodness, I could spook at that, or I could spook with that, or I could get tense here or tense there. So for me, it's just staying really rhythmic and just concentrating on the rhythm and pushing in leg to hand and just working her through all those little moments. And she's really coming awesome. I really, she's come leaps and bounds the last sort of this winter, as she was still fairly green and having lots of outbursts last year. But I think this year she's really starting to come into her own, and she's going to rock it out at the jumper shows with my boss. Coming up. for the next little bit. Probably not another month before my clinics and things start. So I hope this little glimpse of things, sort of what I'm working on around the barn, I hope you find that interesting. Yeah, the driving rein has been really, really good, and I don't know, my next episode might be maybe what I'm working on a little closer with Twiggy and some more sort of in-depth footage of her and sort of how we're preparing for the season. But yeah, that all my vlogs always end up being a lot longer than I think they're going to be, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. Kudos if you sat through it all. Took me quite a while to edit, but I enjoy editing. I just need to find, it's just nice when I have the time to sit down and do it all. I don't do good working in like short bursts, an hour here, an hour there. I like to sit down for a whole afternoon, like today, and get it all done. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, subscribe to my channel, comment, leave a like, let me know what you think. I've been using the driving rein lately. What sort of things have you guys been working on in your rides? I'm curious to hear from you. So, alright, so we'll end it here, and we'll see you guys in the next one.